Hello everyone. I just wanted to take some time to read through a story with you. Earlier this week I posted on my Instagram about the story Scribble Stones, and I wrote out a 5-day curriculum or plan that you can use going with the book. So it's not just reading a book, but you can actually turn it into this great family project. It could be a learning project that can kind of go around with their schoolwork that they might need to do during the week. They might need something educational to do. We can totally do that with this book and make it a 5-day thing versus just, a 1 or 2 hour thing. I think a lot of parents right now probably want things to last and want to have something to do each day. So I wrote that out in the post. Hopefully you get a chance to read it and use some of these project ideas yourself. It's a great opportunity. And so I'm gonna read this book like I did last time in coaching style. So you have an opportunity to watch this video with your little one, or you can simply let them watch the video so that they're having a book read to them. But it's my hope that you can pick up a few tips from the way I read a storybook to children and increase their literacy and create some conversation around the book. So how can we make this a connecting moment, but also an educational moment, and give them more language that they're gonna need throughout their life. So that's kind of my goal. And I also want you to enjoy it. So here we go. Scribble Stones, written and illustrated by Diane Alber. So Diane Alber wrote this book, but we use this word called illustrated. Do you know what that word means? Illustrated. It means when you draw the pictures. So you have someone who writes the words, who's also called an author, and then you have illustrated, and that's the person who draws the pictures in the book that you see. It says, "To my children, Ryan and Anna, who love to play with a giant stone pile in the backyard, who inevitably inspired this story." So the author wrote a little note in the front of this book and dedicated it to her children. And she said they inspired the story. So when you inspire someone, it means that you spark something in them and motivate them to do something. So you inspire them. Is there anyone that you look up to or that inspires you? Maybe a grown-up or another kid. It could be a family member or just someone that you see. I know when I was a kid, I was really inspired by Wonder Woman because I thought it was cool that she was a girl and that she was a superhero and had these awesome powers, and she used them for the good and to help people. So she inspired me. You can also be inspired by a teacher. I had a pretty awesome kindergarten teacher that inspired me, Mrs. Stovall. And I think that she inspired me a little bit to work with children someday because I loved how she worked with kids. Okay, we'll start this out. This story is about one happy stone who is gray and round and rarely alone. He lived with others all stacked in a pile and waited calmly with a large, friendly smile. So there's his stone pile, And there he is with his big friendly smile. Do you ever see any of those stones? Sometimes they're near water. Each stone had a purpose, but it wasn't known yet. Some would be landscaping and some a stone pet. There were so many things that the stones could be. The hardest part was just waiting to see. So there are all the stones waiting. And then here is the stone that's landscaping and the one that's going to be a pet stone. It says here that they each have a purpose. Do you know what a purpose is? A purpose means that they have a goal or something that they're going to do in life. Something that they really, really want to do, that they feel happy about. So you might have a purpose. Maybe you feel that your purpose is to make someone feel happy, and so you might feel like you draw pictures or tell a funny joke. So these stones have a purpose. Can you tell how any of these stones feel by looking at their faces? Yeah, there he is. He's all smiling. And this one looks a little unsure. And this one might look a little squished or uncomfortable. And that guy looks like he's sleeping right there. Stone knew that his purpose would brighten someone's day. He just wasn't sure how or in what kind of way. He imagined the things he might soon become as he watched all the stones get picked one by one. But his happy face slowly turned to a frown as he watched the tall pile start to dwindle down. And although he was worried, he tried not to care until it was clear he was the last one there. So there's the big stone pile, and it's getting smaller and smaller because they were all finding their purpose and leaving and getting picked. And then there he was, the last one. How do you think he feels now? If you look in the story, it gave us a clue, and it said he was worried. Yeah, that's kind of like being a little scared or a little nervous. It's very similar to that. So that's how he was feeling. Sometimes you get worried when you don't know if someone's coming back, like when a mommy leaves to go do work, or sometimes you get worried about what you're gonna do the next day. Do you ever get worried about anything like this little stone? Then it finally happened. Stone was quickly picked up. He was placed on a desk next to a very large cup. There he is. He got picked. He looks pretty happy. Do you ever get picked for anything? Maybe sometimes you get picked to play a game or get picked to do something special. He looks pretty happy about it. As Stone looked around, he thought, "This is so great." But he soon discovered he was a dull paperweight. I'm supposed to bring happiness, not hold paper still. There must be a mistake. This just can't be my skill. So a paperweight is something that you put on top of paper so that the papers stay on the desk and they don't fly away. He doesn't look very happy about it. He doesn't think it's going to be a fun job. Let's find out. Then all of a sudden, a splatter flew high, and then some bright scribbles came wiggling by. Look at all those scribbles. How do they look? They look a little crazy, huh? And like they might be having some fun. What colors do you see? There's red and yellow, blue, and another red. They look like they're looking for something to do. They were headed right toward the short paper stack, and they filled up the paper on the front and back. Oh my, those silly scribbles. Look at Stone. How does he look? Maybe a little scared and shocked. Yeah. They were all making art. It was happening so fast. Stone feared that the paper would not last. So he's getting a little worried, but you could see all the scribbles. They look like they're having a lot of fun. Do you like to scribble on paper? Or color? Scribbling can be a really great activity. Yeah, and drawing can be good for some quiet time. Scribbling. Sometimes I like to make really big scribbles. If I get like really mad or angry, you can just do a lot of scribbles until you get all the mad out. It can help. Let's see what this one did, what this Stone did. He couldn't believe just how much the pile grew. Then he heard a small cry from the fun splatter crew. There he is. And there are all the splatters. Let's see what they said. We knew that this pile was getting too tall. There is no more paper. We have used it all. The scribbles all cried. They now saw it too. This is a disaster. What will we do? So they used all the paper. Yeah, they're looking pretty shocked. Let's see what happens. Stone didn't want the scribbles to cry, so he thought of something they could all try. He slowly rolled down the very large pile and said, I know what to make you all smile. I know I'm not paper, but I like art too. Do you think you can spare some red, yellow, or blue? Do you know what his idea might be? Do you like art? What do you like to do with art? Look at, he's jumping off that pile to go chat with them. Yeah, it looks like they had some paint going on. Do you like to paint? You have to be very careful with it. They loved the idea and could not wait to start. Scribble began making a happiness heart. Splatter then painted some baby blue. Another scribble added a sunny gold hue. It didn't take long before more stones showed up, and soon the line grew behind the large red cup. There they are. They're scribbling and painting on him. How does he look? What's he feeling? Yeah, he's feeling pretty happy. And then all these other stones started lining up. What do you think they wanted? Yeah, they wanted to be painted too. Do you ever feel like doing something once you see someone else enjoying it or liking it? Yeah, it kind of makes us want to do it too. Let's see how many stones are lined up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stones. Do you know where the biggest stone is? Which one is the big stone? Kind of looks like this one. And do you know where the smallest, littlest stone is? Yeah, that one. So they did them in order from biggest stone to smallest stone. What colors do you see on these pages? Red and yellow and blue. Another yellow and a green. Good work. Your brain is really working. To Stone's surprise, he was picked up once more. He had never heard of this happening before. More art was added and he was on his way to become a small gift to brighten someone's day. So what's happening? There's this little bow. Yeah, he's gonna be a present. Do you like presents? When do you get presents? A birthday? Yeah. Nearby, another stone's journey had begun. He was spreading such happiness and having such fun. Every time he traveled, someone added their part. Sometimes just a scribble, sometimes fancy art. So he traveled, and all these scribbles added on to him. With each new layer, there was a story to share, and soon Scribble Stones were seen everywhere. They traveled the planet. It was quite an event, bringing happiness and fun wherever they went. So the stones were traveling all over the world. How do you think people felt when they saw these colorful stones? They probably felt happy. That was really nice of them to spread happiness all over the world. Yeah. Now thousands of stone inspire creativity each day, all because of a paperweight with a will and a way. The end. Look at all those fun stones. And there he is, looking happy. I think they all look happy. Which one's your favorite stone? Why do you like that stone? There's so many colors and shapes. What shapes do you see? There's a heart and a sun and a star. I see a flower way up there. There's a lot of different shapes. And I don't know where you're from, but I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. And the author, her picture is in this book, Diane Alber. She's the one who wrote the words and drew the pictures, remember? Well, she's from Arizona too. So if you're from Arizona, maybe you'll see her around. She's famous for writing this book. Well, what are some things that you can do to spread happiness? What are you really good at? Sometimes when we're good at something, that helps us to spread happiness. So I want you to think about that, and maybe you can collect some stones with your family. Maybe you can color and paint some of your own stones and place them around your house or around your neighborhood with a safe adult. You could even just draw a picture about how you can spread happiness and spread joy to everyone, and maybe write a little something about how you can do that. Well, until next time, have a great evening.